Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us again. We will start our first session of Tea and Teachings. This is a new segment we're very happy to introduce to you. And I want to welcome and thank you, our dear teacher, Eva Belzer. Thank you so much, Eva, for guiding us today, and enjoy the session. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Not good to see you, unfortunately, because we're in a webinar, but I can see there are 200 people in here, so I'm really happy to know you're here and to do the first tea and teaching session with you. Okay, so as this is new, I give you my take on it. This is the first session. Oh, something's happening. Oh, someone's sharing their screen. Perhaps that's not a good idea. Thank you. Okay. Our job today, I think, is to find a bridge from our last retreat in Mexico. And now we're going into Phoenix. And because we haven't had any new classes, I think we should just think about the last retreat we had. This session for me is about connecting and to be together. So I don't quite know how it's going to work, but it would be cool if we could do this interactive. Because when you go to these retreats, and I've been to Lamrims very, very often, there's so much interaction and love happening between the sessions. And when we're online, we're just passive and we're getting the information, then we go home and that's it, right? So I think the idea here is to come together, and I'm really interested in your opinions and your insights and your questions and everything we would do if we were together somewhere. So I hope this is going to work out, and I hope, yeah, I see you can actually raise your hand, and then you can share your ideas. So I would like to give you I would like to give you two areas which we can look at. Two areas that I took out from the last retreat. But if you want to share something else, that's also really cool. So let me give you a very, very, very brief introduction of the two areas that I think might be useful. And then you can comment, and I'm interested in your experiences, what you took out from the retreat in Mexico. So for me, there are two important questions that came out of the last retreat. The first one was all about the heart teacher. And we got this beautiful meditation. And I'm supposed to speak slower. I will. And the meditation we got was about finding your heart teacher. And I would be interested in whether you did that meditation and what experiences you made. Because Geshe Michael said that you'll have surprising results. And so I think it's very interesting. I would be interested to hear what came out of your meditation about the heart teacher. But you can also ask a question. And the second area I think might be worth looking at was the whole idea that Geshe Michael introduced about if you understand karma and emptiness, you cannot be alone. I thought about this for a long time, and I have some ideas, but I can share them later. So what's this thing about not being lonely if you understand karma and emptiness? And if you don't understand karma and emptiness, then you will be lonely. You will not have many friends and you will feel lonely. So these two areas, I think, might be interesting. As I said, but I'm here to hear about your opinions and your experiences. So I'm not quite sure how this is gonna work because I don't know who's raising their hands. I saw some hands. Can help me to identify people and they can speak. Dear tech team, that would be cool. Otherwise, I can read you something which is here. Yes, and I was able to become much closer to those people that I explored the possibility that there were teachers. Incredibly sweet. Thank you, Sarah. So, okay, I saw some hands, but they disappeared. So would anyone like to share with the others what they found? You can also write it in the chat. That would be cool.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can. I'm happy to.
Yes, hello. Yes. Hello, Eva. So I have a rudimentary, let's say, basic uh, yes, opinion. Okay, so for me, it was the first time that I had a meditation about the heart teacher. So it was like an opening. And it was done by, I think, Early. I don't remember his name, but it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful meditation, very inspiring and very, well, one could weep, yes. So very emotional. And I thought about, yes, my mother, and it was a great idea. Of course, following the lecture by Michael Roach, Geshe Michael, it is a very lovely idea to think about the first person who seems to be, so to say, obvious, and you take it for granted that you think about her, this controversial person, as your heart teacher. And he suggested us to start meditating. And he said that if we did it for a week or perhaps a month, we would come up with great ideas that will change, so to say, our thinking. And I didn't do it for months, perhaps for 4 days, but it has already made a radical change in my attitude to my mother. Yeah. So that was great. Yes. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Maria, for sharing. That's really nice. Because that's what Geshe Michael said. It really will have a shift. It will shift your world if you do that meditation. Thank you for sharing. Someone said, even with Sangha, I still feel lonely even while practicing and studying Dharma. I can understand that. But if I can say something on this until the next person perhaps wants to say something. I think loneliness, we have to understand, is a seed. You know, a seed that opens and creates my reality. And my biggest takeout here was that if I'm selfish, which we are all the time normally, then I isolate myself because I only think about myself. If I think about other people, then I'm planting the seeds that I will always be surrounded by beautiful people because I care, and then people care for me. If you're lonely now, that's just a transition period. It will change, okay? I'm very sure. I used to be extremely lonely in my life. And then I started practicing this. And now I have so incredibly beautiful, many, many friends. And it will change. It's just old seeds. I wouldn't worry too much about this because the logical thing is that it will change. But I understand you. Yeah. That's right. Someone says, I care, then people care for me. That's precisely my takeout. Very beautiful. Anyone else wants to talk about the experience? That would be so nice. And slowly, if you can. We've been reminded. I know it's probably not so easy because in the webinar you don't see anyone. So it's a bit. Just imagine we're standing at the bar, having a coffee. Oh, someone's hands is up. Hello. Nope. Tech, you will let anyone in who wants to speak. Otherwise, I'm just going to entertain you with my thoughts. Someone says I'm more patient with people. I like that. And you feel warmly towards teachers and classmates. Man, so do I. Yeah. Loneliness is a big issue. And for me, it all boils down to not understanding emptiness. Because if we understand emptiness, we would care about other people instead of caring for other people, instead of caring for ourselves all the time. And when we change that, then reality changes. And that's so beautiful about what we're doing. And if I'm lonely and I understand it's just seeds, then it's not so bad. Because I'm just sitting in a cinema watching my own film, and it's just a passage which I planted, which is not so nice. But I know it will pass. I know it will go away. Because now I'm doing something else. Now I'm really caring for people. And I'm trying. Not always. But you know, I try to think more about other people. Cool. You hear me? I hear you. Nice. Okay, this is the first session. In the next tea and teachings, you will have to think about your things beforehand. Because it's an opportunity, right? For you to be together. So you can listen to me. That's not quite the idea. How do you deal with anger? Good question. Anger, anyone wants to have a go at that? Sarah had her hand up. A very nice comment by Ute. If I see everyone around me as a Buddha, I can only be happy. I agree with that. Ooh, money and money seeds. We could. Did someone have their hands up? I can entertain you, right? But I only do this if you don't want to.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm on the screen. I just couldn't tell if you could see me, so I didn't want to intrude.
Yeah, I can't see you, but go ahead now, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Hi. I was thinking about the different who when Geshe went through the different possibilities for heart teachers, and then what they might be teaching me. And some of them were a little bit more difficult to sit with, you know, like because some of the relationships had been challenging, you know, and especially certain ones definitely more challenging than others. And I thought, if they were my heart teachers and they're teaching me something really, really difficult, then how might I respond instead of seeing them as a normal person who's making my life uncomfortable, you know, like uncomfortable because they want to make my life uncomfortable, rather they're helping me figure things out. And it really, it helped me show up for those people directly if I was able to interact with them, but even more so the other people that I was around. So it obviously made me feel more suspicious, but present. So, and I found that it changed overall how often I was getting agitated, you know, and how often I was getting frustrated with people. It kind of helped me settle things down and be more patient in really, really difficult moments. And so I hadn't noticed a significant change like that, like, you know, until doing the meditation every day, like Geshe. So it was definitely some relationships changed in kind of dramatic ways. And that was really cool.
So cool. I had the same thoughts, and someone else was writing it also, that if you look around and see everyone as teacher potentially, you change their relationship. You change your relationship with them. Because if they're your teacher, you can't be angry. So it's like, oh, hang on, if he or she is my teacher, man, then perhaps I'm wrong getting all excited about how stupid you are, right? So I really think it's very pacifying, and it gives you a lot of peace and happiness to think about.
Yeah, I found that was really true, and also how the question came up a lot as, you know, is there anything that I can actually do for them? You know, am I actually able to make any changes in a real way? Like I have a tendency to try to micromanage situations, you know, and to try and so I have some teachers that'll just kind of ask me all the time, like, you know, what do you think is really happening here? And so I just imagined in those relationships, like, who's doing what here? Who's teaching who's showing up for who? And that was really kind of entertaining. I won't say like funny, but it was entertaining, and it kind of kept me curious about people and leaning in a little bit more than maybe I had. And so, yeah,
Totally
really
understand you. Thank you so much for sharing. That's
Thank
really
you.
kind. We have some more questions. And I will just give you a minute to think about. If I see a hand, I will let you in immediately. Interesting question. I mean, I think the question with anger, we've already touched upon it, but and anger is a big issue, right? So it's not something we can discuss in 3 minutes. But I think the whole thing I've taken from last session, from last retreat, it's all about an attitude. If I have an attitude that I might see someone as teacher, or I'm not sure who the person is, and he might be someone special, he or she, then that dissolves anger very quickly. And even if I have kids, kind of, the question here was, it is difficult with kids, absolutely. But it does help a lot to see them differently. And then anger doesn't really have much of a chance. So that's anger. We've talked about anger a lot. Let me quickly say something about money and money seeds, because I've recently been thinking about that a lot. We know that generosity creates being rich, right? If you want money, you have to give money. And for me, the new thing I've learned is that generosity is not an act. It's not about, I give you $10 and that creates money. It does, but it depends how I feel inside. And if I just do it to save some taxes, then karma, Geshe said, karma is a movement of mind. It's like a 1/65th of a second. And it's how I see the world. And if I open and if it's like, oh, who is this person? Or, oh, I want to give this person money. Then I have an open heart. And that's real generosity. So generosity for me is a new insight I have, is an attitude I have towards other people. How I see other people. And seeing them as potential teachers opens my heart, and it makes me more generous, because to give to a teacher is so much cooler than just to give to anyone. But if I see everyone as teachers, then these are super seeds. Okay, that's my quick take on money and generosity. And interesting is that you ask that. And I think it relates to the questions we are discussing here. So isn't that interesting? Okay. Anyone else wants to say something? I can say something on the boundaries, but perhaps we take someone in. It's helped you the most. Okay. Someone's saying something. Hello.
Hello, dearest Eva. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
Hello.
And hello, everybody. I would just like to share that after being at the Diamond Mountain retreat, it's been quite amazing and special that I've actually become a teacher, a mentor for some friends. And I never imagined that. So it's amazing how we can become teachers by being examples. And if we get lonely, we can seek out opportunities to go and help others to find what they need and help them, so that we're doing something beautiful and meaningful in the world to make a difference.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's how we change loneliness, by helping other people who are not happy themselves. And then you become a teacher. And Geshe is never tired of saying everyone here has to become a teacher. Every one of us has to be in a position at some point where he or she will pass on those teachings. Because that's just the way it has been going for 2,500 years, right? So I think that's a very beautiful thing. Thank you so much. Okay, we have a lot of comments now. You have to have an honest intention. Yeah, a very nice comment. Okay, let me say something before someone else perhaps wants to say something on boundaries. Interesting question. Boundaries even with your teachers. Haha, difficult question. Generally with teachers, you know that what Geshe did with his teacher, he went there and said, this is my bank account, this is my life, how can I serve you? And for me, that's a very wonderful example. And that's what I did, basically. I went to Geshe Michael and said, I don't know, but you brought me these ideas. It's incredible that I had the Kelwa, the ears to listen to it, to hear it. You saved my life, because I'm not lonely anymore. I'm not unhappy anymore. I'm not lost anymore. You saved my life. What can I do for you? So basically, really, you want to give yourself away. But you have to do it wisely. Like any kinds of giving has to be done wisely. Because if you don't give it purely with all your heart, so you can rejoice it and you don't regret it, then the giving is not working. And that goes for giving 10,000 euros, and that goes for giving yourself to your teacher. And no one can teach you where the boundary is but yourself. But you have to find a way to stay happy, to give as much as you can, but to stay happy. Because the old scriptures say, in the wonderful book, The Mixed Nuts, translated All Kinds of Karma, it says there that if you give something and you regret it, or if you give something with, you're not really sure, so you like with tension, if you do that, then the karma is not strong. It's almost like you put a seed on the ground, but then you got it out again. It's not really a strong seed. So it's a very difficult thing to do. And that struggle alone plants wonderful seeds. So don't be afraid, but experiment. Don't be dogmatic. I have to always say yes. Think. We are taught to think. So when your teacher says jump, first instinct can be, yeah, how high, where to? But then you also have to see, can I do it, or is that something I cannot really do? And if you can't do it, you fall on your knees and you say, I'm really sorry, I cannot do it. And that's okay. Your teacher will know that and he will understand, or she. So that's my take. We have to be grown-ups. We have to think for ourselves. Buddhists don't see everything. We want to become Buddhas, right? So in order to see everything, I have to have a good capacity and understanding about my own abilities. So I don't know whether you're happy with that answer, Claudia, but it's okay, it's difficult. It's okay to totally give yourself away, but you have to be wise about it. And the only person who can do that is you. No one else can do that for you. And that's how we grow, and that's how we become teachers, by the way. Again, yeah. It's a backward and forward thing. Thank you for that difficult question. I like it. Yeah, someone is asking, can we touch coffee meditation, or everyone is doing it? Oh, so many questions. Anyone wants to go at that? I'm not sure we can clarify them all, but it's nice. Perhaps future sessions can pick that up. Anyone wants to go at these questions? No? Nice. It's difficult to say something, huh? I understand that. Let me see. I can just pick something. So many nice comments also. I hope you're reading this. I can tell you something how I deal with angel and devil in my mind, because hell, I've got them both, which is good. When the angel speaks, I'm very happy. When the devil speaks, I try to identify him. For me, that's the most important thing, because normally he's hiding and he pretends to be really wise and he pretends to be Eva. But when I identify a devilish thought, for example, I should take care more about myself and less about others. That's not worth doing. If you do that, you burn out. So if I hear that thought, or if I hear, you're not good enough, or if I hear, oh, I'm so jealous of this person. Whenever I hear thoughts that I'm suspicious that might be good, then the first thing is I identify it. I say, you are the devil. I don't want to think that. And that is not me. What I do, I distance myself. I'm still feeling that, and I'm still thinking it. But I distance myself from it intellectually. So if you're jealous, you say, God, I don't want to think that. That is so stupid. Or if I think I'm not good enough, I'm a schmuck, I go like, that's not true. That's just an old seed opening because I didn't respect people in the past. And now a seed is opening in my mind that tells me something negative about me. I'm not listening to myself. So I'm trying to disengage, I don't know the English word, but distance myself and not feel the thought. Not like, I like to say, take a bath in it. Like you really, really go into that feeling. I still feel it, but I distance myself from it. And that helps a lot to make it go away quickly. So I think identifying the devil is important, and then to say, I hear you, I know you're coming from my seeds, I am not interested, I don't want to think that. I want to be a different person. And that works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. Detach is a good word, thank you. And when I do that, I plant a seed. And next time I don't even have problems disassociating myself from this thought. And when I have good thoughts, I'm really happy. I do a good coffee meditation because I realize the reason why I have an angel speaking in my mind is because I must have been kind to other people. And that's just so beautiful. When I have a good thought about myself or about other people, for example, my teacher, who is coming from me, then I try to really celebrate that because it's a good sign that my practice is going well, right? So I've learned mostly to be really patient with me and to be kind with me. If I were perfect, I'd see light. I don't. And because I'm not perfect, why should I treat myself that way? I have old seeds. I still have a lot of bad seeds that are opening. And when they are opening, then I dissociate myself from that also. It is not me. I'm not a bad person. I just have bad seeds opening from my past. So instead of being very critical about myself, I just go like, yeah, okay, old seeds. And I don't play the game anymore. And that has helped me out of that spiral and negativity a lot. I hope that helps you a little bit for the devil and the angel. Okay, some cool comments. We're all in diapers, but I think we're doing a great job, right? Oh, someone's saying something. Elmira, please join me.
Hello.
Hello.
I will try. I will try. I just thinking about that the teacher grows from my seeds, and all words reflects the lesson, and all words brings this lesson. And I think that we also can understand the devil and angel in this side. So I'm quite often catch my mind that I'm jealous to my friends in Sangha. So and And I'm understanding now that it is just my mirror, and that's why I need to understand it. So this is really very, very hard. But we need to be stronger. We need to be, and I also like all the idea you talked today, and everyone. I hope I can take also part in discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amira. Thank you for sharing. So cool.
I'm in dark now. It's night.
That's okay. Yeah. For me, it's also late. Yeah. We have a similar. Yeah.
So this is just seeds.
It's just seeds. I'm just reading something about if you feel very bad about yourself, that's just because you've criticized other people a lot, right? And my first years, I've been doing this for 15 years, and my first years, I spent trying not to criticize other people anymore. One argument is emptiness. They're a mirror, like you just said, they're coming from me. The other argument is they could be my teacher. And I want to treat them well, even the difficult people. So never feel bad about yourself. It's just seeds. You really have to fight that. We're trying to become enlightened beings. Do they look unhappy? They don't. So I know it's difficult, but I think intellectually, it makes no sense to feel bad about yourself. So don't go that way too much. We make mistakes. We have bad seeds. Try to get out of that negativity, because that's also an attachment. If you beat yourself up, that's also being attached to a self-existent me that is now bad. And it makes no sense. I am empty. And how I see myself is how I treated other people in the past. And when I have a really bad moment, I remember I have a Geshe Michael in my life. Duh, something about me must be fantastic, okay? That's my advice for bad days. We see a person like him who is just amazing. So that's my tip for bad days. And there was a question about how can I pimp my motivation? I think pimping your motivation works best if you think about other people. You don't do it for yourself, you do it for other people. You give money, and if you want this to come back to you quickly, your motivation is, I'm gonna make sure that poverty disappears from this world. Because I'm a creator of my world. So if I give money, I'm planting a seed. That seed will open and create a rich world, and no one will be poor. So I think the highest motivation is always to think about other people. And obviously that's what we're doing. And it's very beautiful. Yeah, 6 times book is the thing we do, Tundrok. That's right. Beautiful. I'm sorry, it's difficult to see all the questions. So if I miss you, it's not on purpose. I think I was asked how I met my teacher, how I planted him. God knows. I'm not sure. I do actually know. I was political. People who know me know that. I was engaged in politics for 15 years when I was really young. And I really wanted to changes in this world. And I dedicated 30 hours per week into this. I did almost nothing else. And I sacrificed almost my life for the vision of everyone having a better world. And I believe this is how I planted a Geshe Michael in my life. Because as I was political, I was not really open for Buddhism. That was not my thing, on the contrary. And then he appears as a DCI teacher who taught me about, here, you want more money, you have to give money. And I did that. And that's why I'm also a fan of DCI, because I would never, ever be here without that. He tricked me into this, and that was very beautiful. And I'm very grateful. And so I think you are all here having this debate about a teacher because you must have done incredible things in your life, in this life and before. And I think to even discuss these things is a rejoiceable, and it shows how special you are. And I think I will leave you with that. I see Francisco is coming back in the picture. I don't know whether you want to tell me that I'm almost done. Because I would understand that then you can wind up. So let me just say this. I think you're very special. Even thinking about a heart teacher is such a blessing. And I would be patient and just try to see beauty in everything around you. And you will definitely have results. And you will see who can teach you. So I hope that works out for you. Thank you so much for your interaction, as much as that was possible. And back to you, Francisco.
Thank you so much, Eva. I want to add something instead of like cutting it.
Yes, please.
The teachers, and something funny happens from time to time. And I start planting my teachers doing what other teachers told me to do. And it doesn't mean that they must be like a Dharma teacher. It could be like your music teacher. And if you listen what your music teacher is teaching you and you do what they are teaching you, then you're planting beautiful seeds. But also, Geshe mentioned, who has been helping you the most? And then if you do what they are asking to you, in my case, my mom, for example, and that's why I got a haircut for those that see me 2 weeks ago. My mom asked me to cut my hair, and as she has been done a lot of things for me, I plant the seeds to hear her and to do what they recommend me, because they're kind of my teachers. And that's also a very powerful seeds for those that want to plant the seeds to have a teacher, right? Because I also notice the other part when I don't listen to my mom, and then I feel that my teacher is away from me. They're like, no, and then I said the correlation there. So yeah, for those that are looking for plant seeds for teacher, it's amazing to do what our moms tell us to do, or teachers tell us for the opportunity to be here. And well, our program is starting. Our next class is in 32 minutes. It will be our first 5 houses workshop. And for those that are not very aware of what is happening into the 5 houses, we are building the houses right now. So we have been working on the past events about what is coming on the 5 houses. And our next event, it will be the personalities and students' needs that we will need to identify for each of the houses. This segment will be led by teacher Aldo, Yelse, and Timothy. So please stay tuned. And we will have like some interaction with you online. So again, if you want to turn on your camera, if you want to say something, raise your hand and we will make you panelists so you can just open your camera and be more aware with us. So thank you so much again, Eva, for your time. It was an amazing experience. And we will have another tea and teachings at night. This one we will lead by Veronica Hu as well. So please tune in and Thank you so much for here. See you in 30 minutes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
The reel and the music will be shortly. Very shortly, I promise you. Music is almost ready.